Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. It is episode 206. I am continuing on where we left off at my parents', though I am now at home. And when I was with my mom, I was coloring her way, which is simply look at the barrels, grab pencils that you think are going to blend well, no pre-sampling, and that is what I have done today. So I am going to work on this last cupcake with the Prismacolors, and then since I don't have my mom's sets here, but I do have the same brands, I will be using one of my own Kalour sets, followed by one of my own Brutfuner sets, and the final set of 3 cupcakes I have not decided yet because those were done with the Staedtlers, which I don't have anything like that. So we will see what I do with those last 3. So I think I'm going to be able to get a couple of cupcakes done. I just have the Prismacolors out at the moment, and then as soon as I finish, I'll have to turn off filming and go find the Kalour set that I would like to work with, and we'll just see how far we get. I am very glad to be home. It has been lovely and warm here. It was pretty good weather at my mom's. The last day was beautiful, not overly warm. I did wish I had worn shorts. I saw lots of people with shorts flying and thought, oh, I should have just gone ahead and worn shorts. As it was, I had longer, thicker leggings on, so I was a little too warm. Hug went off to work on the trail today. He missed his, we were working hard the whole trip, but not doing our normal things that we do. I have been working very hard on the Black Widows. The haul video that I posted yesterday, I realized I had a long way to go. I thought that I had already swatched on my swatch sheets, which are the ones with the holes punched in them. Sadly, no, I had only done like 6 of 180. So I thought I had done all 96. But it was the Coloring Bliss swatch chart that I had done, and that was what I was using for my color family order. And I'm very happy with that order. So I will be coming up. So this was supposed to be 207, and 206 is supposed to be the first look at the full Black Widow set. But I am trying to stick to my plan of coloring every day. So I'm jumping this one ahead in line by 1. I hope you all had a chance to do some of your own coloring. You can always go back to my older daily colors. I am sure that not everybody wants to go through the book start to finish. It was just a method that I thought would be good to make me not overthink things. I am an overthinker, and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't get into the analysis paralysis mode when you have to make a decision. So many of the decisions are made for me with my way that I am doing the daily color. So this particular one, I am trying to do, I might erase a little bit for a light source, but I just wanted to see what it looked like all filled in all the way. which is not my normal way of coloring. Right here is the, when I did the stickles around the border of the fish page, this right here is darker because it is the turn of the bubbles in the upper left corner. Okay, so I think I'm gonna let this be my shadow. These little beads, I think I'm going to try a metallic on them. We will see how it goes. It is not my comfort zone to color in metal, and I'm trying not to spend time swatching. I'm just picking some colors and going for it. And I don't even know if this 36 set has the array of yellow, tan to brown that you typically use on a gold item, but we'll see. I might mix a little bit. This came out pretty purple down here. I haven't even told you the colors. So I am trying to mix in. Oh yeah, that softened that right up. And so the lightest color is light aqua 992. The colors, of course, will be in the description. Second color is True Blue 903. I then went right to this Violet Blue 933. And the darkest color and the shadow is 901 Blue Indigo, or Indigo Blue, sorry. Oops, look at that. That is the first time I have pushed hard enough. Remember, I am typically light-handed. That right there is a little bit of where it broke, so I have to be careful. Again, Prismacolors are my messiest pencil. Messy and Holbein, the two messy pencils. So because I tend to work mostly with harder pencils, that's the base of my experience, I forget to be careful and I run my hand across areas that get crumbs or erase marks, and that I have to watch for. Okay, so the top is done. I have to decide if this is going to be, I've been doing chocolate or white. This was a lemon. Let's see, I do have, this has some, nope, right there. This one has some red in it. So it's like a red velvet, my patriotic cupcake. So again, I have not picked all my colors, so I'm gonna do the tan combo we will go for some sort of a middling brown. I'm going to start with the light umber. I have cream 914. The light umber number was 941. My aunt was looking at my book, and we will see that that blue hopefully will be, I've erased enough of it that it won't contaminate the brown. She was asking how it was that I was able to get the texture of cake for the cupcakes. So I thought that was pretty fun that she immediately picked up on that. But she didn't like jump in and say, oh, I want to learn how to do that. She isn't an artsy person. As a rule, she's really good at photography. Has always been good at taking good shots. So I think, because I want to keep this more colorful, that I am going to put the tan and the brown aside. And I think that the main explanation when you have textured elements, you can use the tooth of the paper to your advantage and actually let it shine through. And I think that is a good trick. I believe that I want to do a light coat of the tan. I think of these wrappers, the cupcake wrappers, like a vellum. They end up getting a little greasy, and some of the color of the cake comes through. Sometimes they have pretty colors. And so this one I'm going to have be like an aqua color, the top of this cupcake, because it is a pretty color. Now again, I hadn't really done any highlights here. I do have my mono 0 that I can introduce some light. I really love the subtraction method. It allows you to contaminate the paper. So see, the paper is stained. And so you get, say, 80% of the color. You can softly blend it off to the side. You can add and remove as many times as you need. So I really love using this little eraser sort of as a pencil. It's my subtraction pencil. Again, I should have my brush out, but I don't. I have this aqua in my hand for the cupcake wrapper, but I'm going to use it to soften the edges of where I erased. All right. So now we're going to start mixing this color. The color of the wrapper is aqua. There are the linear lines, the little pleats in the sleeve. So though I scrumbled or did small ovals to kind of make the tone of the greasy cake come through, you still can go vertically. So if I add a little bit of vertical, hints of vertical lines being the creases, that's pretty much what I've done with all of these. And I am going to be not overthinking or overdoing the coloring of these cupcakes because I am ready to move on to my next page as soon as I can get these cupcakes done. So this cupcake, I am going to just let it be finished. I've got these little gold, let me see if I can do some quick gold coloring on them, just with a couple of colors. I am pulling out a couple more browns, a bright yellow, and a goldenrod. So I've got, for the gold, and this will just be really small bits, we've got canary yellow, goldenrod, that tan, which is in my hand, which is light umber. I've grabbed sienna brown, and then I probably will need the dark brown, which is gonna be right here. So we will see that dark brown, if this will give us enough variety on these little gold balls, and I think it will be plenty. Now the question is, are these sharp enough? They are not very sharp, so let me just keep on. I'm doing a half moon to give these the look of a 3D circle, like a pearl. I do have this dark brown, somewhat sharp. I'm sorry, I let it slip too far off to the side. I hope that stayed focused for you. I'm also going for a little bit more of a bright, cheerful cartoon type coloring look. All of these have been colored with a more cartoony type of a look. You guys can't hear this, but my husband, he's taking his nap. That's when I color. And he's listening to some, he really likes game music, like Elder Scrolls, Skyrim. There's some really good music that has been composed for various computer games. And I can hear him. All right. I have not used any gel pen, only the first row, the first vertical row of cupcakes did I use gel pens. So I will be coming back through doing some gel pen on the remainder. All right, so there's my cute aqua and gold to navy blue cupcake. Not spending a lot of time on it. I'm going to pause. I'm going to go get a Kalour set to do the remaining 2 cupcakes right here. I'll be right back. Okay, I have the Kalour 180 full color barrels. This cupcake with the 4 layers of icing is going to be a sunset from yellow to red. Starting with canary yellow number 4, bright orange yellow 49, bright orange 101, bright orange red 133, and peach 121. So I will tell you that this is the color barrel in the elephant tin. So it is a black tin. They came all messed up in a box, and I have not even put them in full color order the way I want them to be. I did decide a color order that I liked, and let's see if we have a name. Oh, this doesn't have a name. I probably had this problem last time. So it is a nice Excel spreadsheet list that I really liked, and these are the same as my black barrels. So I've already copied the index strips that go into the case from the black barrel, which is actually the red deer tin. And somebody did correct me somewhere along the line in one video. I mixed up Kalour versus Brutfuner, and so sometimes I do get a little mixed up. So that is still to be done in this case. So I thought I'm pulling these over any others because they have not been organized, and that way I am just going purely by these barrels. Look how nice these barrels go from the yellow to the red, and that way I'm again not letting myself overthink things. These will be blueberries. When the right time comes, I will probably come back in with a little shadow. And notice I went ahead and used, along these little dots, these dots I use as my guide for some shadow or for a little variation in color. So I am blending in the next color after the yellow up into the yellow. And then I will be doing again a little bit of a shadow here. Going next from that bright orange yellow to bright orange. I am hoping for a little bit of a 3D effect, giving the icing like a thickness. Have it kind of curved at the bottom here where it's dripping, long and drippy and thick. Moving on to, oh, sorry, I am supposed to be using this bright orange. Continuing on, and we don't have 5, though I picked 5 colors. I only have 4 segments. So down here where things are getting whiter, notice I left a little bit of white here. That was intentional. Adding some little natural highlights by leaving the white of the paper showing through. going to be introducing the bright orange red a little bit further up. And I am coloring in small circles. Okay. Moving all the way down here. And I'm going to transition now to the red. And the red is actually peach. But the peach 121 is actually an orangish red. This is not a very sharp pencil. So these are soft, like the Prismas, but I can see that when they cover the tooth, they're not quite as pigmented as the Prismas. And I feel that I am putting more pressure. The Prismas are very forgiving, and if you accidentally put too much pressure on them, you can then erase. But this, I feel I need to push. See how I'm adding, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but as I'm going through here with another layer in a circular motion, I'm getting a little bit of crumbs, and it is turning into a burnished, shiny, kind of slick feeling surface. I feel, and I know this is probably crazy to say, the Prismas, I don't have to push this hard, and so I don't necessarily get this burnished, shiny, kind of that shiny look. I can leave the Prismas a little bit less and still have the vibrancy without having to go to the full burnished, finished look. I do actually like the burnished look when all is said and done, but I am using that burnished look to get the most color. And the Prismas are just easier to get the color to pop. So there is our cute rainbow. So again, a little bit of white gel pen, probably taking a little eraser to this here and then adding a little bit more white. I'm going to fill in some of the white on this droplet. So that is what the droplets will look like. And because we are short on time, and I'm at 30 minutes and I really want to get that last one finished, so that tomorrow I will be working on the Brute Funer cupcakes. Okay, so the final cupcakes are probably going to be done Monday. And yes, tomorrow is Sunday. And for those of you familiar with my process, I color daily, 6 days of the week, sometimes on Sunday. Because I was traveling, I will for sure be coloring tomorrow, but I'm not going to do a weekly review until next Sunday. We'll just have a wonderful longer review. I'm grabbing Burnt Umber, 180, to have this be a chocolatey. The chocolate showing through the vellum. Cupcake wrapper. So I'm already going heavy pressure here. You can see the shadow. I'm just using another layer to get my shadow. Same with up here and on the outside. Really get dark in the corner and then sort of blend that out. I need a little blue and I need a little green. Okay, went over a little bit right here. Oh, so there's our chocolate cupcake. Let's find a couple of blues for that blueberry. I like the two bright light blues. They have this lovely, Kalour has this lovely pale blue. That will be my highlight. I grabbed then a middle blue, and this is way overkill for a blueberry. Light sky blue, and then the dark blue. Let's just use deep blue. So one of the things about my mom's place is they grow a lot of they have like a vegetable garden, lots of flowers. And they have these blueberry bushes that are just fantastic. I think they have 4 of them. And I took a few really nice photographs. And I found out that their friend, they have like 70 blueberry bushes. So I think that's where they got their blueberries. I always wondered how they did such a fantastic job. They have 2, you know, my husband and I do not like raspberries. So they have raspberry bushes on one side of this little walkway to go to the backyard. And then the blueberries on the other, and they are huge. They're like trees. I did not know blueberries got so big. So here's our last little accent. And some of them have that white powder on them, and some of them don't, so the colors are varied. I did take some photographs that maybe I will try. I took a lot of photographs since they're selling their place. I went through the whole backyard and took all sorts of cool botanical type shots, and perhaps someday I will use some of them to do some actual art. All right, so that's enough with these 3 blues. I am keeping all of these pencils out so that I can get the colors logged for everybody. And then I need green. And I am just going to grab my favorite green and something a little darker. So this color, middle yellowish green, 168. And these are tiny leaves, so 2 should be plenty. 011 forest green. Okay. I haven't even thought about the last one. The last one. I need to pick out some colors. I'm going to pause because I don't want to waste a moment of time, and I will be right back. All right, I'm going for a yellow cupcake with brown whipped topping, and I believe my little sticks here are going to be red and white or all red, like a Twizzler, like licorice pieces. Okay, so starting with warm yellow, 136. That's kind of hard to read, isn't it? I think that's 132. Brown olive, cinnamon, 118. No, 113. Very hard to read. No, cinnamon is a completely different. Here we go. 43. Chocolate, 138. And dark coffee, 060. So we will see how well this set of pencils works. I am going to start here making my yellow cupcakes. And then we will be adding some browns to this. I like with all these lines that I don't have to make fake lines. It goes quicker. I am going to take what I think is, okay, so I went ahead and grabbed these by the barrel colors. Well, let's just see if this is too dark or not. It does not appear to be too dark. Nope. So again, this episode is jumping ahead of what I promised, which is the first look at the Black Widows. That's now going to be 207, and this is episode 206. Tomorrow I will be doing the next 3 cupcakes. Monday, the last 3 cupcakes. And then we get to move on to the next picture. I feel like I've been on cupcakes for all of the month, which so far, that is true. So these are already, I see the shine. These tend to burnish themselves. I'm sure part of it is that I tend to use more pressure because I want more pigment out of them. So what it means is that the paper goes glossy, sometimes even before I have filled in all of the tooth. But I find if that does happen, which it just really depends on how many layers, how many colors I'm trying to add. I can always push the color into the tooth even if it has burnished itself and gone glossy. I can just use a blending pencil. And I've not experimented much with the alcohol marker or the liquid pencils. I just use either the Kalour or Prismacolor pencil. And the reason why I know it's starting to burnish is it's actually getting glossy. I didn't really even have that with the rainbow one. It didn't go glossy on me as quickly. But again, I'm working with a lighter color, so I think I have the tendency to use harder pressure, even if it's not my intention. So to add a little depth to this fine yellow cake cupcake, I'm adding the next darker brown, the chocolate 138, which is actually going to be part of my topping. Now I'm doing some vertical lines. Since the pleats in the sleeve will add some depth, I am making my lines be closer, the brown lines closer to the one side of the line, like so, to give the appearance of shadow. And then I'm going to soften my lines here as we get into the natural light. A sharper pencil will give you more detail if you want it. I'm getting some crumbs. You perhaps can see them and guess what I got. I brought my brush. Of course I bring it for the pencils that aren't as messy. Right, so I'm adding in some soft brown, and I will probably erase probably most of it. Just leave a hint of it. Okay, so there you have that. Now I want to start with the dark. I want to make sure that I don't, this is a very orangey yellow color, so I want the mousse, the chocolate mousse frosting on the top to be not a yellow brown. I want it to be more of a gray brown. So I'm using these lines as my hints for placement of the darkest brown, which is what, dark umber? No, dark coffee, 60. The one thing I could do is this, I have dots, so I have lines down below here, and I have dots on this little swirl up at the top, which means I might make that white. And to do that, I will need to find some soft cream color. Alright, so there's the browns. I am now going to grab, now this brown olive looks a little too yellow to me, so I'm going to go to the next one, which is cinnamon. And let us just see. Well, see, that is, I'm going to grab, let's see what this one, chocolate. If that is also too orange, that's okay. I will be looking for either a softer tan, or I will use a blending pencil. I think I have a Prismacolor blending pencil nearby. We are at 45 minutes, and I am very close to done. I'm going to take all of these and set them aside. I think the brown olive I did not use, so I'm going to set that off to the side. Let's bring out the peach, which is the red, and I am going to give this the appearance of glossy licorice. Okay. And then, let's see here, what have I got for a very tan? This is earth tone. Oh boy, can I read that? 95. I'm actually running this a little bit down below onto the cake part of the surface. My mom's Kalours, I think, are a little different than these. And they, I think, are a little softer. They might even have a bigger core than these. Okay, now I would like to make it very clear that this top is actually a whipped cream. So I'm going to take this light brownish gray, and this light brownish gray, I could choose to make it creamy yellow or creamy gray. I have another cupcake, the top left Prismacolor cupcake. Let's just show you. This one I used a warm color. This one I'm going to keep it, because we already have so many warm colors down below, I'm going to make this be cool. I am actually okay with using this to burnish the chocolate color, the chocolate mousse, over the clear, because I would like to keep it also not as yellowy orange. And I definitely enjoy burnishing with a colored pencil, the lightest of the colors. Gonna have to erase that little bit on the side there. I got a little I also have to get rid of the little red. There. I see some crumbs. I don't know if you can see them. They're kind of along the middle there. Following these little dots as my guide. That's where I'm adding some extra shadowing. All right, I see one crumb there. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so let's move this over. Let's see if we've gone. We went fuzzy. I have no idea how long that was fuzzy. That's what happens when I'm getting focused. So there's the last two cupcakes. They don't have the gray. I will probably go ahead and add gray to these as well. The gray used on the Prisma is a very lightly applied black. And again, if this was fuzzy, guys, I apologize for the fuzziness. So that is it for today for my first back at home daily color. Episode 206 is done. Do all of the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. And we will meet back here tomorrow where I am going to work on 3 cupcakes, much more interesting cupcakes. And I will be using either the Britfuner squares or the Britfuner 520. I have not decided yet. We will reveal that tomorrow. See you then.